Okay, so in this video, we're going to try and build or start building our robot chassis like you did in class today. Get into Fusion, make sure you're in your own folder, and let's start a new file. So if you have other files open, let's click a new file or new design. You should see untitled. We're gonna save it. Make sure again you're in your folder. Give it a name like Pushbot and hit save. And then you should see that pop up here on your folder. So you have a new file called Pushbot. We're going to build something like the right chassis rail like you did in class today. So let's get started. Go to Tetrix folder. And the first piece you want to pull in is this 39065. It's a 32 mm channel. Let's drag one in here and it should appear on your screen. I'm just zooming out with my scroll button so I can see it better, and I'm going to leave it where it came in, not move it at all. Just hit OK. There, it's in there. Next we're going to move 39066, and this is, no, I take that back. We're going to move 39067. This is the 160 mm channel. So let's drag and drop one over here, and it should show up pretty soon. Again, I'm going to zoom out so I can see all of it. You noticed it came right on top of the other channel. So I'm going to hold only this arrow. Do not touch the squares or the circles. It's just this arrow. I'm going to translate it and move it out of the way. And now this is the second channel, and I want it to look like this channel here on the picture in the manual that you were using. You notice that it is actually rotated by 90 degrees. So the bottom small channel is okay. This one on the top, I want to rotate this and make it similar. So I'm going to hold this small circle on the top over here, because that's what's going to rotate it similar to what you see on the right side page. I just have to make sure that I am rotating it to exactly 90 degrees, and then I am going to leave it. I did this using my left mouse button. You notice it's 90 degrees over here, and now this channel is positioned similar to this one. So I'm going to say OK. There it is. If this was confusing, just go back and listen to the video again and follow along with the video. So next I'm going to move one more channel in there, which is this last one, that is 39068. It's a 288 mm channel. Move it in there, same procedure. It will come right on top of this one. So again, I'm going to scroll out using the middle button, scroll button. I'm using the translate handle or this arrow to move it out of the way. And in this case, it is in the same orientation as this small channel here. So I'm going to leave it like that and just say OK. Now I got all my three channels in there. In the picture on the right, this channel, the second channel, is actually sitting above. It doesn't matter. In this case, it doesn't really matter, because you can do that if you want, but really what we're going to do is just join these channels. In real life, you joined it using screws. We're not going to use screws here. We're just going to define the joint. Remember what I said? It's a rigid joint. The screws make it rigid. That means once you put the screws, the two pieces cannot move independently. They move together. So that's what we're going to do in this example also. So to do that, we have to define a joint between these two pieces. So I want to move this piece and make it attached to this piece in two of the holes. So if you look at the picture, these two screws are going to go into this hole and this hole, and on this piece it's going to go in the third position here, so the third big hole right on top. So this is my third hole on the top. Actually, it's going to be here. It's going to go on the underside. So this is going to come on top of this. So that means it is this hole and this hole on the underside that we have to join. So to do that, we're going to take this command here from assemble, a joint J. Now it's asking you for two components. Which component should I join? And the first one is blue, so I'm ready to select the first one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these holes. So let's say we're going to pick this hole here. So here you can see that I'm going to move this to the center of the screen. Now you see how it highlights every hole for me. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see clearly. When I go to the edge, it shows me the edge and the center of that circle. That's what I want. Either that circle or this circle. If you see the black edge and you see the center, I want to catch the center. But when I do that, it starts moving to something else. So to prevent that, what you can do is go to the edge. And once you see the black circle, press the Control key and hold it down. And as long as you hold it down, nothing else will change. So now you can go click the center. So I selected the center of that hole. I want to join that hole with this hole, but on the bottom side. So I'm going to turn this around. So now I'm ready to select the second component. This is my second component. I just need to find the underside of it. So I'm going to turn this around. And now I'm ready to get my second component. I want it to join to this hole. Again, it keeps moving around when I do this, but if I go to the edge, I see the black circle. I press the Control key. Now it's locked and I can move and get the center. I will click on the center. Now you see how the two pieces came together and basically it made a joint. So instead of using screws, I just defined the joint directly in CAD. And now you cannot move these two pieces independently. They are stuck together basically. And that is how it says here, the motion is type is rigid and it shakes when you animate. That means it's all fixed together. If it was not rigid, if it's revolute, it will take those two circles and make a revolution joint over there. So you want rigid. And when that is rigid, you say OK and done. You have a joint. Now these two parts are fixed. I'm zooming out so I can see the other one clearly. Now the last one we want to do is you have 4 screws. You can put 4 joints or you can even do just one joint. In this case, when you do one joint, that's enough. So we're going to do the same thing. I want to join these last holes together. That means the top of this one has to be joined underneath this one. So again, let's go to assemble. Let's take a joint. Select my first one. Now I want this piece to move here. So I'm going to select this first. And if you look at the 4 screws, they go in these 4 holes here. I'm just going to take one of them. Let's take this one. Same procedure. Find the black circle, hit Control, hold Control, move to the center and click the center. That's my first one is selected. Now I'm going to select the second one. Zoom out, find your second one. It's actually underneath, so I'm going to turn it around. And I want that hole to come and line up with this hole. So same procedure, black circle, press the Control key, move to the center, click the center. There, the piece came together. And because it was a rigid joint, it's done. And so basically you have made your first joint pieces. I'm going to hit home button shows me everything that I want, and that's how it looks. So as easy as that. Hope you understood that, and let us save this. You're done for the first side of